What is up, guys, and welcome to another episode of So Pro. I am your host, Felderkane, and it's my pleasure to bring you this match between, down in the bottom right-hand side of Newkirk Precinct, we have Acer's Nerchio playing ZvP in the blue. Down the bottom left-hand side of this map, we have Grubby's Grubby playing the red Protoss. A little bit of PvZ here for you. I'm quite a fan of this map. It's very close and it's clearly divided, and it does have like a very easy expansion here, and a very clear route to and from, and it does have these areas up here, so it does allow for quite safe expansions, depending on how active your opponent is. So Nerchio going ahead and taking that first Overlord over. Have a look at the opponent's base. It is only 2 spawn points on this map. Meanwhile, Grubby sending his little probe out and having a wee look around. And what will he see? Not a lot. Nerchio just going straight for drones at the moment. And that's pretty much all he's going to see. Grubby does have a pylon on the low ground, so that could be a fast expansion. Or it could just be so he knows what's going in and out of there, in case something funky is going on. I'm not sure about Nerchio's play. I don't think I've seen him play that much, which is quite strange. He has been around for quite some time, and I do think I saw him recently in a lot of the stuff I've been watching. I have been watching an exceptional amount of Starcraft 2. I didn't realise there was so much, honestly. With WCS and everything, involved in that. You've got the Home Story Cup, and you've got DreamHack, and you've got the IEM, Intel Extreme Masters. Yeah, got a lot going on at the moment. So, yeah, I've run into him a couple of times, and I'm not really sure, not enough to really know what he's like play-wise. Does go for the spawning pool. Obviously, you can't not pull as ZvP. We've got a little cheeky pylon down here for Grubby, which is forcing poor Nerchio to go up to his third and expand up there instead of where he would normally, which gives Grubby enough time to get down his forge, gateway, and yet another pylon. Nerchio's going to see pretty much everything here. I don't think Grubby's particularly worried about that. So he does know that it's going to be a bit of a macro game from Grubby. Nerchio, meanwhile, has his queen out, starts injecting, and pretty much just, does clear that out with his lings, by the looks of things, and then goes ahead and puts another base up. I've probably said this before, but I'll say it again. ZvP really wants to be one base ahead of either Terran or Protoss in order to stay up with their progress. I'm not entirely sure why that is. There is a reason for it, but unfortunately I'm not good enough to know that. Grubby here going for that. Yeah, it's a very standard, cyber. Your cannon there, it's a standard wall and defense versus ZvP. And it's good, it works, yeah, definitely. Otherwise he wouldn't be doing it, right? So he goes ahead and takes his gas. He's already got 2 gas down here, so he's looking quite gas heavy there. What is he going to do with all that gas is the question. I'm sure we'll see once this cybernetics core comes down. Let's have a look here, and Nerchio just droning up. Heavy droning up. And I base is going to come in slightly late, thanks to Grubby being a bit of a pain in the bum. But nothing else, just the thing there. There's no gas, so definitely going heavy into macro here. Kind of a gentleman's agreement, I guess. Neither one is going to rush by the looks of things. Nerchio knows he's got a bit of time on his hands, thanks to Grubby going ahead and expanding fast. Now, Grubby's got a probe. Instead of the standard zealot, he's got a probe there, apparently. As the gatekeeper, I can't imagine that poor little guy is going to last very long. No, away he goes. Yeah. What's he off to? He's going to have a wee look here. This is the old style of this map, I think, with these. The newer one has, this area is much more open. There's no hole here, I don't think. And, yeah. So this is a slightly different version. This is the older version, and I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference, except for the fact, that Zelnaga tower is there. The one up here, pretty much useless, unless Nerchio does decide to stream his units across the map there and then down to attack. But we shall see. What's Grubby doing? What are you doing, buddy? Just making a lot of drones. Drones, probes. Failed, honestly. And we've got a Stargate. He's going for the Phoenix. So I presume he's going to do a bit of harass with that. And 3 gateways. So 3 gateway Stargate. 4 gateway Stargate, sorry. So with those Phoenixes, he's going to have a bit of air control. Excuse me. And he's going to probably take them straight over to the base and be able to pick up like a Queen, maybe. Or a few drones here or there. Definitely going to be able to take out some Overlords if he wants to do that. Doesn't seem to be any kind of defense coming here. Yep, there we go. We do have the Spore Crawlers coming down for Nerchio. A wise move, obviously, now that he knows what's coming in. They do take a little while to come in, and so these guys will be able to zoom around and cause a little bit of trouble before these pop in. Seems to be using them for taking down Overlords, which is fine. It's quite possible that will supply block Nerchio, and it has. He's just playing catch-up now. It's kind of unfortunate for Nerchio, but that defense is going to be enough. There's a strange little pylon there, and a warpin from Grubby, and he's going to do quite a bit of damage there with his shiny Zealots. I do love that model of the Zealots. And he comes Phoenix lifting up a Roach there, stopping the defense. This Queen, however, is barriered in nicely with these Roaches behind them in the line, which is stopping these Zealots from getting a full decent surround. The Phoenix are going to take down these Overlords, which may once again bring Nerchio under that barrier. Roaches obviously cannot fire up, so these guys are pretty much safe from everything apart from Queens and those Spore Crawlers. So that said, he has gone ahead and expanded to the front of his base. This is easier to defend, but it's also easier to attack because it's closer to your enemy. The Mothership Core will take care of that, but he does have to cancel what I presume is a cannon coming in. But yeah, he seems okay. He's got 4 oracles? Sentries! Why was I going to say oracles? God damn it, failed. So, he's got some sentries and some immortals coming in. Immortals do hefty damage versus those Roaches. That is, if Nerchio decides to stay with the Roaches. Does he have anything else coming in? He's got a macro hatchery going down, and is taking the melee upgrade. So, what's he going to do with that? Queen gets lifted. Bit of harass. Now, doing quite a bit of damage with 5 of those Phoenixes. Some of them quite low on health, though, so has to back off. This base looking nicely defended by Grubby. And he goes ahead and brings down another Stargate and 2 gateways. So what is he doing with the Stargates? More Phoenix. Heavy on the Phoenix. And let's have a look at the upgrades there. Yep, he's got 1 ground attack, 1 air attack. So he's... I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. He does have a VR out. The old Void Ray. Always a good bit of DPS in any army, if you get a couple of those out. Got a Ling Run-by coming in here. And oh dear, doesn't look good there. We do have that Zealot, which will cause Nerchio to have to retreat with that little army of Lings. Will he turn them into Banelings? They have a Baneling nest. Negatory good, but he does have a Hydralisk Den. And does appear to be researching something in that. So probably Hydra's coming out. Yep. So it's Roach Hydra by the looks of things. For Nerchio, will that be enough to take care of this army? Quite possibly. But Grubby's looking quite strong here. Does clear down a Robotics Bay and probably going to go for Colossi, I would imagine. Once he gets the Thermal Lance for them, they will do a heck of a lot of damage to unprotected Hydras. Now, the Roaches will soak up a lot of that damage, and being quite active with the scouting here. And there we go. We've got Ling Roach Hydra. The Hydras are quite slow. They don't have that upgrade yet. The Roach is also quite slow off creep just at the moment. Got a big army coming in, and Time Warp does go down. Using the Phoenix to lift a lot of those units at the back, so those Hydras are completely vaporized, pretty much. And so it looks like a counterattack is on the cards here. Are we going for that? Looks like we are. Nope. Okay, we're backing out. Surround from those Lings. Phoenix Cloud seeming quite useless versus the Lings. Obviously, there's too many Lings just to lift up one at a time. Not so bad versus Roaches and such like. But versus Lings, pretty much a waste of your energy. So, spreading out all over the map. Having a wee look to see if anything funky is going down. Nerchio has his 4th base up, is going for the Spore Crawler just in case. Well, not just in case, because he knows there's a crap ton of those Phoenix flying around. Excellent control there. Yep, he's definitely pushing buttons. And goes for his 5th base. And does have a lot of Corruptors out. Now, Corruptors will probably take care of those Phoenix unless they're kited very heftily. I'm not sure if they've got the Anion Crystal upgrade, but probably not. So that means he doesn't have the extra range required to kite those. So he's pretty much just trying to keep them away from each other. It looks like Nerchio's taken the wrong route, unfortunately. That's kind of a shame. Does however manage to clear out the Zealot up on that tower. And manages to take map control for himself. So, Grubby's going ahead and taking his 4th base. And just amassing his forces. Does have his Colossus out. Does he have? Yep. Yep, he's definitely got the Thermal Lance by now. Even though I missed it. He's got a Fleet Beacon down. What's he going to do with the Fleet Beacon? Void Race, I guess. So he can go for the air weapons. If you're not sure what that is, this works basically the same way as the Templar Archives does. The Templar Archives, can't remember. You know what I mean. Basically allows you to take extra upgrades above the first set of upgrades. So we've got a bunch of mutas in from Nerchio, doing quite a lot of damage there. I certainly didn't see them coming. I probably should have, and so should Grubby. Does throw down the Photon Overcharge. This guy needs to not be here. No use against this army. Yeah, okay, so VRs are going to take care of most of those Corruptors. A few cannon hits in there. Insult to injury. The VRs are pretty slow though, unfortunately. So, Grubby moving his army forward. And grouping into a death ball by the looks of things. Looks like he might be going for the counter there. Speeding out a number of upgrades. I think he got the wrong one there, however. Big mutas here. Lots of mutas. Does manage to see that with a probe, so is he going to get back in time? And does he have the right defenses for it? Possibly not. Yeah, so he is kind of managing to take down the most of this air army. He does have the superior numbers, and he does have the extra damage of the upgrades. And yeah, the only thing going for these right now is the extra speed. They are much, much faster. We have a call back as an attack on Grubby's 4th fails. I completely missed that, sorry guys. I was busy watching them chase each other around. And now the tides are turned, the Mutant Cloud coming in, a few Corruptors, and the Corruptors are going to do quite heavy damage, coming in from both sides, and will this be able to take down that Phoenix Cloud? Doesn't look like it. They decide to back off from each other and regroup by the looks of things. Grubby's army not looking great condition at the moment. Nerchio quite far ahead in the supply, goes ahead and yeah, okay, so he's expanding again, and yeah, that guy's like, nope, 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 oh my god, where did these guys come from? And down he goes. So it doesn't look like Nerchio might get that expansion, but now obviously Grubby knows that's going to be going down, so he might send his forces up there, but will he? I don't know. So many Spore Crawlers. That's like me with cannons when somebody attacks one of my expansions, man. What are you doing? Okay, so Nerchio obviously sick and tired of this bunch of Phoenixes going around and messing around with all his bases and all his units. We did have the mutants flying around up here with these corruptors, and yeah, just kind of back and forth here, just looking at each other, posturing a little, grouping up, going for their death balls, and we've got High Templars coming in for Grubby. Now that's going to take care of a lot of those mutants if he can get a good storm off, but first he needs the energy for the storm. So, got the Guardian Shield going up, and a bit of a back and forth here. Does he go ahead? Yep, he does have the prismatic alignment off, but Grubby is kiting him in there, and yeah, the Colossus will take care of most of these without much of a problem. And they're going head to head. It does look like a massive battle. I really don't think Nerchio's got that, but then again, Grubby's having to back out slightly to try and regroup. He does group up the Phoenix as tight as he can, just trying to... I think he's actually focusing down those mutants because they have higher DPS, I think, than the Corruptors. I'm not 100% sure on that. You'll have to double check for yourself because, like I said, I am a noob caster. So, yeah. Grubby has the supply lead by quite a bit. Does have a wee defensive force here, protecting his fourth from presumably stuff that is going to come in from Nerchio's sixth, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeez, oh man, he's a lunatic. Zerg players are evil, I swear. I wanted to be a Zerg player when I started, and I'm just not this good. You know, look at the creep spread. Not the best, but pretty damn good. And, okay, so coming in for an engagement here. Looks like he does take down a pylon on the cannon, but engaging over the buildings, which means these ground units cannot attack. That's a fantastic move. But Storm does go down, and it's a well played from Nerchio, and Grubby wins the game. Wow. That was, and he does just one Dark Templar go in. Yeah! I'm gonna take down everything. Alright, that was a good game. Quite enjoyed that. GG well played to Nerchio and Grubby. Thank you all for joining me. It's been quite fun casting this, and I look forward to bringing you more of this. My name has been Felicane. This has been SoPro. Good luck and have fun, guys.